It only works if you work it. A new idea, a new experience, knowing the right answer, having a skill, being connected, having connections. You knowing things only matters if you do something in the same vein. You not knowing means you better do something. Travis Well, it's pure sound daily business. It's thinking about the biggest indoctrination I got from public schooling in the U.S. public school system is thinking there is a right and a wrong answer in life. When there is a very small area of life where there are right and wrong answers, and there's an even smaller experience when it comes to day-to-day life and making decisions, that there's right or wrong answers. Really, context of the situation. And shout out to Patrice O'Neal, and he used to say it's righteousness. I'm not trying to be right, but being righteous. And righteous takes all the factors in. Ain't necessarily about being holy or religious, anything like that. It can be that. However, I don't separate reality and spirituality. My belief system ties everything in. And to be direct, it's more complicated than this, but to be simply complicated and direct, that when we talk about spiritual matters, we're talking about the deep collective unconscious of the universe. So being right is akin to being righteous in the situation, in the moment, taking all the different variables together and then making a decision. It's not really wrong or right answers. Only in math class. That's really one of the only places I know. Maybe in spelling, but that's really modern. Because before the English was standardized, I believe by Teddy Roosevelt. I could be wrong about that, but I believe in his presidency, English got standardized. Which means before that, there really wasn't a set way, accepted at least, that in English, it wasn't universally accepted that this is how you spell certain words. So if you read those old school history books and things be misspelled, well, sometimes they're not misspelled. Sometimes that's just how that individual spelled it. And if you read enough of these and you really look into what's being said, you can tell, just as any other writing, you can tell the ignorance of the writer and whether they just are ignorant and they can't spell and they ain't educated, and then the difference between someone who is very educated, but we're looking back with our eyes saying that's spelled wrong. Context, right? The context of the time, the context of the situation. And I see that it's very subtle. It comes up from being taught to take tests all our lives and make a right or wrong answer, fill out a multiple choice question, true or false, fill in the bubble. And that somehow just this task, right? Learning this skill of taking tests, how that actually works in real life. And really, there is none of that I've seen. It's more about how you work things, decisions you make, and the biggest key, corrections you make. The actions you take and the corrections you make. And as we make a decision, what's good today may not be good for tomorrow. We make adjustments, we advance. This is where the concept in my spiritual school of thought of unfoldment, we unfold ourselves. So we continue to open up as we make decisions. And that is a process where I believe what test taking turns us into, is someone who stays closed up instead of opening up to new answers, new possibilities. We stay closed up in the same answer, and that goes into no possibilities. There is an adventure to life. There is a closeness. There is this is all that there is for me. Because this is the answer. This is the one answer for my life. The one thing I'm supposed to do. The one thing I'm supposed to speak. The one thing I'm supposed to think. And quite frankly, to be honest, I think that's evil to be putting that on anyone, let alone this is how we're educating our youth, creating our society built on these thoughts, consciously or unconsciously, directly or indirectly. And it keeps us stagnant. When we talk about personality type, there are certain types that are more upholding of a system than others. There are innovators and there are sustainers. People that sustain the system, that maintain the system, maintain the status quo. And we need both. Can't just have people innovating and breaking the mold and change all the time. You have to have system clarity, peace, comfort, certainty. And they go hand in hand. You can't break the mold. You can't break status quo if there isn't a status quo. So there are certain personality types that lean more to one way than the other. I would say most, if we are to believe the statistics, most people lean towards falling in and maintaining the status quo, maintaining a society, doing things as they have been done, which is great. In one respect, in a certain context. Right now, we are in a time of change. A lot of people are resistant. Some are looking to make drastic changes. And I'm all for making informed changes. Making moves with a plan. And seeing it through to its conclusion. So I'm here to help people make those decisions, to help people tap into the unconscious motivations, wants, and needs, and make them conscious. Say, this is what we want to do. Being the author of our own story. Because in this time of change, things will never be the same. Things never stay the same. And if we don't step up and write our own story, a story will be written for us. It's by other people, the earth shaking us off or shaking us around, drowning us as the water rises, and these different things that are going to happen. Earth's going to do what it's going to do, rotation of the space, all that. However, we do have a say. You do have a say. You get to choose your life. You get to be the author of your life. You only have this one. It's yours. and it's too short to be playing around. So what story are you writing for yourself? And if you've written a story, are you doing something with it? If you know something, are you acting on it? Are you making moves? Are you learning what you need to learn so you can do what you need to do? Are you asking the right questions, taking the right action, continuing to get new ideas and have new experiences? How are you authoring your life? It's Travis Well. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. Peace.